I need to change some stuff. I will. Welcome, welcome. So you want to explain that? Um, you want to explain? You want to explain that thing that you sent me on DMs? I need some clarifications. I'm just a curious man. Oh my gosh, this is so effing cringe. Really? My gosh, it's so cringe. What does the pose look like? The guy's just doing you know, they're just doing that's it, you know? They're just doing the peace sign, bro. They're doing a double peace sign. There's nothing wrong with so 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 whenever someone says double peace sign, that is the first thing that you think of. If I were to do double peace sign, do you think I'm doing the Ahegawa face? Does he? Yeah, let me double check. Oh my gosh, he is. He is. God damn it. Really? Really? This is so dumb. There's some issues that I'm having with this. Freaking whatever. Hold on. Let me see. If I can't resolve this issue after doing this one thing, I'm just gonna do it off stream. Or I'm gonna deal with it later. Freaking heat driver updates, bro. Some of them are so useless. Dude, some of them are actually just useless, bro. I remember I had to like go back because it was unstable. And this is one of the updates they like forced onto people. Or you weren't able to play the game. And not play the game. Use whatever theme. Okay, now it wants to work. Okay, okay. Now you want to work. Okay, that resolved it. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. There's still some stuff that's whack AF with the OBS, but you know, that's not my issue. I'm tired. Today's stream is not going to be too crazy. It's not going to be too crazy long. I had work. I literally got off of work. I ate food. I shower. I ate food. And here I am streaming. Because I have to draw. My art skills compel me to keep on drawing. To keep on acting drawing. God effing damn. God damn it. I need to disable Windows. Microsoft Edge or whatever. Or that's what I should do. Tathrachara 4376. Hello, hello, welcome. How's it going? I was just doing some gesture drawings. Today's stream is not going to be super long. I still got work tomorrow as well. I'm just here doing some practice. Gotta get my daily dose. Get my skills up, you know? Love the dedication. Yes. It's just more out of desperation. Just did a 12-hour shift. Came home, be like, well, gotta draw. Gotta get better. Shit. Oops, I forgot to put on my timer for Earth. Low extra experimental. Wallow, hello. Wallow? What's wallow? Hello, hello. It's going. Kinda tired. It's here just I'm here drawing. Gotta do my dailies. Did a 12-hour shift. Came home, showered, ate some food, and now I'm here drawing. How's it going for you? Oh, anywhere behind the shiz is so. Oh, um, do you read any manga or watch anime? It's a reference. I do. Okay. Literally, it's just that my art skills or anything that I draw is pretty dog water. So I have that as a reminder of, damn, anything that you draw is kind of dog water. It's a constant reminder. I need to get better. Also, it's just a haha funny meme as well. I mean, also it's a what we call a icebreaker. It's a conversational starter. You know, there's a good amount of people come to the stream for the first time, and they ask about the panel, and look, it's doing its job. Good icebreaker. I mean, what? You want another icebreaker? Be like, hey man, do you know how much a polar bear weighs? You're like, what the fudge? Why would anyone know that kind of information unless you like study animals? And you'd be like, no. I'll be like, enough to break the ice. Hi, I'm Ibukize. What's your name? You know? Oh shit. That's pretty bad. Let's move on. Did you know polar bear skin's transparent? What do you mean they're transparent? Excuse me? What? What? I swear, if you're the one person that effing that studies animals, they work for like, I don't know, the Discovery Channel, I'll be like, wow. Well, I guess someone who studies animals does exist in my chat. Goddamn. That 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 doesn't sound true. That I mean, it may be true, and I'm just ignorant, but that sounds fake AF, bro. I feel like you're trying to troll me when you say that. Their fur is transparent. What the fuck? What's your favorite anime? That's so difficult to say. I don't I can't really say I have a favorite. I love them for all different reasons. You know, I like the dark, more edgier anime. Uh like Garden of Sinners. That's the one that is kind of underground. It's older. You know, so I like the darker stuff, but hell, I love me some nice slice of life like Yuru Camp. Or what's there's another one that came out. It's about girls who start a freaking club it's uni students. He started a club about food. It's like feeding the soul or something. So it's like the meme. There's two wolves inside of you. You know the meme. The two wolves inside of me. It's kind of like that, you know. I want like the darker, edgy, the one that makes me want ponder and be like, oh, these normies, you can't appreciate this. You don't have enough brain cells. You're not intellectual enough to get this. You know, my pompous ass with yeah, with these peculiar acquired tastes, and then cute anime girls doing cute things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. It's like like different sides of the spectrum. The two wolves inside of me literally fits this. Literally fits it. How about you? Do you have a favorite anime? Okay, favorite anime is really hard to say. Let's say genre. What's your favorite genre? I think that's a little bit easier. I would say my favorite genre would probably be damn, so corny. Romance comedies. I love me some romance comedies. Listen. I live vicariously through anime characters, man. I've never been in a romantic relationship. Relationship? Yeah. So I could live vicariously through these effing 2D freaking hand drill. No, okay, they're not hot hand drill anymore. On run. 2D effing anime. Yeah. Like emotional dark, not gore. Oh, gotcha. And does that mean you like older series? Because typically, if you like the darker themed stuff, you should definitely look into old OVA series. And these are the things that came out pre 2000. They're a lot grittier, they're a lot heavier in tone, in execution, but the animation's still amazing. Or I should say like art direction. It's definitely before digital age, so everything's gonna be like cell shaded, like actually cell. Oh, you watched Monster. Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, Evangelion. Everyone knows about Evangelion, but Monster. Ooh, I haven't heard someone talk about Monster in a fat minute. Damn. Okay. Have you heard of what's that one movie called? OVA series. It's like Angel's Egg. I haven't watched it, but I heard if you're into the darker theme stuff, you might like it. Okay, in terms of romance comedies, what kind of romance comedies are you looking for? Because you know, you could be like a boring mother effer and just say, "Oh, dude, Horimiya's so good. Oh my gosh, Horimiya, blah blah blah," or Toradora. Holy shit! And I'm over here like, okay, relax. Have you read Berserk? No, I haven't read Berserk, dude. I'm saving it for a rainy day. I'm saving it for an effing rainy day, bro. It's one of those series. If I'm on my deathbed, I'm like already, like talk to my grandson or whatever. I don't have any kids, but you know, imagining myself in the future. I'm on my deathbed. I get the news from the doctor, be like, "Hey, you got a few years to live, or you got a few months." I'm like, "All right, it's time." I'll tell my grandson like, all right, Sonny, it's time. Give me my reading glasses. Something unrealistic can be kind of sad. Sad? Okay. If you want, okay, I think this isn't really a hidden gem. It's an older series. You do hear it. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about it now. It was pretty big when it came out, but a series called Golden Time, not Golden Boy, not Golden Boy, bro. That's just straight up comedy. Actually, no, that's oh my goodness. If you love just straight up comedy, I would recommend Golden Boy. Holy shiz, Golden Boy. Oh my gosh. Golden Boy is really funny. If you like just straight up comedies, you should definitely watch that. But for romance comedies, I would recommend, yeah, Golden Time. The thing that makes it unique is it talks about uni students. Because the majority of what romance comedy animes is like high school students, and there's Watakoi, which talks about more of the workplace. I mean, there are some series that covers university or college, but some of them are okay. Or ugh, if you want shows to be in the realm of and not NTR, but like cheating a territory, then there's freaking White Album. You're not really into that kind of stuff. Uh, Golden Time is good. It's very, I would say, very realistic. And I could confirm with friends who has watched the series, they're like, yeah, this is what it feels like to have a real girlfriend. Realistic. Yeah. What, Golden Time? Race. No, Golden Boy, if you want to race the oh, that one. Ah, I remember. Yeah, yeah. And when he's on his bicycle, right? Racing the girl on the motorcycle. Oh man. It is that series is so effing good. It's short. There's not that many episodes. It's an OVA series. Dude, honestly, just watch old anime, bro. Okay, it might be my nostalgia kicking in. Actually, no, it's not. It's not my effing nostalgia kicking in. Hell no, it's not. Dude, old anime, that's where it's at, bro. It's not because of nostalgia. I swear, bro. I might be a dinosaur. Well, all old anime holds up, bro. Old anime holds effing up. The reason why I say it holds up, it has to do with the direction. Of course, it's gonna have like a grittier feel. It's not gonna be as clean and polished, or like the style is very old. But if you look at how things were animated, holy shiz, bro. It's amazing. Like, I would recommend just go on YouTube, right? I mean, hell, you are already on YouTube. You can leave the stream if you need to for this, because, like, to make my point clear, go look up the anime opening for Cardcaptor Sakura, the first one, and dude, it is so effing fire. Have you seen Doro Doro? Dororo? The guy who was blind, right? Who's blind and deaf, but got hands for swords. That one, right? Or am I thinking of a different series? If so, yes. I haven't finished it. I can watch it in another tab. Hey, I don't know. You could be on mobile for all I know. Listen, listen. I got some mobile only viewers. Okay, okay, man. I I can't discriminate. I can't just assume everyone has a freaking piece on the PC. What the price of technology and inflation? God damn. Yeah. What about it? Yes. Apart from the ending, it's really good. I would say. Dang, the ending sucked. Okay, okay. No, yeah. I think I'm like halfway through the series. Yeah, what how someone convinced me to watch it is they essentially said, "Hey, imagine Helen Keller, but she got sword arms and she's doing everything for revenge." I'm like, "Wait, what? Excuse me? What do you mean Helen Keller with no arms and out for revenge? Excuse me?" And then watching, I'm like, "Okay, alrighty. Okay, you got a point. I see it. You weren't exaggerating." Oh yeah. But yeah, old animation, dude. They have so much life and character in them. What do you mean I'm a gamer? Excuse me? What do you mean by that, Aldo? I'm not a gamer. Listen, not anymore. You're my past. Not anymore, bro. I'm here slaving away as art demands. Is that 30? I know, right? That was all hand drawing, drilling. This is before they started, implementing digital animation. No, Will sent me a picture of a thumbnail. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Aldo. Whoops, I made that a little too forward. That's okay. Again, I'm not saying that newer ones are absolute garbage or trash. There are definitely anime that's airing right now that is good. It is just that it has to do again with the um I'd say like just soul of it. More money on it, I would say. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, that's why you see a lot more what we call like IPs, right? Things that already exist, that already has a set thing. They're not going to experiment. They will go with what works. They're very they're not willing to take risk. They're not willing to do it for the sake of creation. One frame, man. No, no, it's not one frame, bro. It's slideshow. It's PowerPoint. Dude, I've heard so much about One Punch Man, bro. I heard season 2 was bad, then I heard season 3 toppled that and how bad it could have gotten or got. I heard a lot of people started watching it, season 3, Literally, just to, it's like what is it, like hate porn? They just watch it to hate on it. It's like, I want to feel mad today. Let's watch One Punch Man season 3. Let's see, day 160. Today's date is the 29th. It physically not get worse than season 3 as far as animation for anime can go. Damn, you think so? Ooh, I think season 4 might topple that, bro. Watch it just be a not even a slideshow. Watch it be stick figures. Ooh, you know the show Gintama? Sorry, I'm just try Mob Psycho. It's the same Arthur, has better animation, funny story. Yeah, I know Mob Psycho. Mob? I think Mob is the closest thing that we'll ever get to what people call like a modern classic. Or like, you know how people say certain older animes are like considered classics in the sense that number one, it defines the time period, but also that people can watch it in any time period and still like enjoy it, or has a staining power. Because if you think about it, right, a lot of modern anime, and I'm saying past mid 2000s anime, so 16 onwards, 2016 and onwards. Prior to that, I would say it was like not modern. I mean, but ever since simulcasting got really big, and you see this explosion in anime, in the sense that where you see a lot more anime companies and the sheer amount of anime, the number of anime that it is being produced each year. Once it got to that point, everything became simulcasting, meaning that what is the newest hot show right now? It can become so viral so quickly, but it could die off just as easily. Um, but again, there are a few exceptions to this. I think one is Ferrerin. I definitely consider it a modern classic. But when you look at certain series, right, it does have relevance for a little while, and then if it doesn't, if there is no continuation, there is no sequel, it just dies. Not necessarily dies, but the hype and everything, people talking about it, it just teeters off. The reason why certain anime series still stay hot is because it's constantly airing. People are constantly talking about it. Again, it's the aspect of keeping up to it weekly. I heard Gintama is really funny. I have to start it though. Ooh, Gintama is a hard show to start. I'll say that. I can understand it's kind of what happened with Isekai's, many bad ones and very few ones. Few good ones. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of bad ones out there, bro. Have you seen Cowboy Bebop Samurai Champloo? Come on. Come on. What do you who do you come on, man. What do you think? Come on, man. I'm not that much of a scrub. Who the hell is this artist? Oh, it's Pixel stuff. Yes, I've seen. Come on, man. Come on, man. Here I am yapping about how good old anime is. See, that's why I haven't even brought them up. You know why? There's no need to bring it in the conversation. It's already implied. Holy. Yeah, those are like obvious givens. So I don't really bring it up. It's like a cheat code. Do I want to do rotation or do I want to copy? You know what? F it. Sleep in like 45-ish minutes. Any old classics recommendation? You know what? Watch Bakuno. Bakuno is pretty good. I think Bakuno is pretty good overall. Man, Soul Eaters. Soul Eater might be hard to watch because of certain gags that they have. It's super generic now. But if you really like action, the animation for the action scenes are pretty cool. Fully Cooley or FLCL. Music in there is amazing. Let's see. Hellsing Ultimate, if you want something grittier. Trigun is pretty good too. I love me my Trigun. Kind of aged. Noted. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Fudge. Hold on. Trying to think. I'm trying to give you not there are like some older animes that are great. It was kind of hard to a little bit harder to watch. So I'm trying to find something kind of in like the middle. Definitely watch Cardcaptor Sakura. Again, the gags and everything, very old school, but dude, if you look at the animation, you're like, God damn, how is this made before computers? Computers. Oh, I'm blinking. Hold on. Perfect Blue, Marqua, look back. Excuse me, give me an older anime, please. I'm not gonna recommend Inuyasha, bro. Inuyasha is hard to watch. It's hard to watch. I'm not gonna make you. I don't necessarily. Yeah, there are certain animes that I would not recommend people to watch because it's like it's hard to watch. It's hard to get through. Like I would say Gintama is a great show to watch. I would recommend it. It's kind of difficult to get into. The best way I could explain Gintama is it's like a group of friends. Like the cast of characters are your group of friends, and they do the dumbest, most cringes things ever. But it's so funny because of the insanity, the things that could happen, and you're just there to witness it. I think that's a good explanation of Gintama. So it's like the same thing when you like meet friends. You kind of have to warm up to it, and it takes a little bit of time. But once you like know your friends, oh man, y'all can go to town. So it's so that's a little bit harder to get into. If you want something, if you don't mind etchy, damn it, what's that anime called? Heaven's Property, I think that's the name. Hold on. Yeah, Heaven's Lost Property. Holy shiz, dude. This is more of a rom com, has etchy in it. But man, if you want to last your butt off, bro, I'd recommend it. Literally, alrighty, farewell. Heaven's Lost Property. What an effing anime, bro. What is I what the fudge? Why is hold on. I need to go hit someone's stream real quick. I need to go to someone's stream real quick. Give me 1 second. This effing guy. This effing man, bro. This effing guy. This effing guy. Oh my goodness, Chan. I effing swear. I can't with you. Yeah, he's just gonna say hi on my stream. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Now he's decides to focus on his stream. What is he doing? Is he doing timing for jumping? Oh, I think he is. Okay. Better focus on his stream. Chan. What the hell are we gonna do with that guy? Bancho dancing? Yeah, welcome. Denpai? Interesting name you got there. Well, like 30-ish minutes. Do I want to do rotation? Oh, I can copy. Copying so much more fun. Oh, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my hell. Not really hell, but maybe I can spend this time analyzing. What do I want to analyze? Because I might spend 30 minutes just analyzing stuff. Ooh. Ooh, do I want to analyze something with armor? Mm. Oh, this perspective might be interesting. I could do this one. Mm. Mm. I might just analyze this one. Analyze this one. This is not mine. Let me write that to the side. Not mine. Okay. Then, so people just effing know this is not my art. Okay. Let's analyze this. I guess this will be the next thing I can copy from Dal. So this artist trying to emulate. Their name is DLL under dash KR. KR. Is their art. Okay. Let's see. So this is interesting pose. They're looking down. And there is definitely some foreshortening. And they're very good with their shapes too. Or like constructing it wise. So this is a lot more apparent. Liking it like this. This kind of in terms of perspective. It's like this. It's a lot more apparent over here. It's interesting perspective. Man, stop yawning. You're making me yawn too. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm gonna end stream in like 30-ish minutes to go to sleep. So I'm sorry, man. It's almost my bedtime. It's almost my bedtime. Yeah. But yeah, they really sell the perspective by like imagine this if this were a box. They show the bottom part. And then they also show this as well. Show that kind of in like perspective. These 2 points show it and they make it very clear. And this, since this is a skirt, they use a soft edge. So instead of making it apparent, they kind of wrap around it. And looking into it, they just do it with they really sell that with how they hatch. So hatch really them hatching this the way that they did really gives this volume shape. But anyways, uh, same with this. I mean, this has to do more with reflection. The same thing with the hatching right here. But anyways, no. But yeah, first things I'll just talk about shapes again. This helps with the perspective. Box. They probably these big volumes first. Yeah, I think the big things are this right here, the skirt, how they draw the skirt sells it, and then this right here. So I think these two are the big things. Of course, face in terms of them looking downward, looking this way, or their eye gaze right here. But even without the head, right? Let's say the head, because the head could be, it could be looking, they could be looking this way, they could be looking up. But these two things are the things that really sell it. So when copying this, and you have to think about these two things. Really important. Okay. And then for the rest of, I would say, like the silhouette, right? Again, they do like big shapes, especially to these parts. I guess it matches the appeal, the character. Have a more interesting silhouette. If this didn't exist, um, I guess like these would lose volume. But yeah, they use pretty big shapes. And I guess that's another thing. I guess I could start considering these kind of stuff when I'm doing my homework. Because I do have homework that I have to accomplish. So this was my previous homework. Is I was drawing suits and then rendering them. And then my next homework is high fashion. High fashion in the from the 20th century. It's gonna be more with woman fashion. Men's fashion back in that time period is literally just suits, which I've already done. So more extravagant wear. Not and this is like after the Victorian era. But there's gonna be a lot of shapes and patterns. So I think from this I could start kind of thinking about that aspect as well. Or maybe it might be beneficial for me to do that homework, then come back to this because it's literally just simplify the shapes and start adding small details slowly but surely, breaking down. And then the big thing they're talking about the lecture is it's about designing the clothes. It's not necessarily copying it for verbatim, but understand all the different parts and how they come together. And with this, I could apply the same principles as well. Like for instance, so I could just understand this as like a drape. But there's this right here. I don't know why this I don't know why this is here. That one does not good make real sense to me. This stuff makes sense to me. You got some Y folds, and it's trying to get zigzag. I could probably I mean, it can be cleaned up, but this does its job. This is a little bit confusing. I think they're trying to have this be folded and this goes outward. Honestly, they could have added a turning edge here. So I wonder why they didn't add a turning edge. Maybe it's in conflict. Because let's say it's technically a cylinder. Trying to sell this part. Yeah, they could have added turning edge or maybe. It's hard. It's a hard perspective to get down. Like maybe this could droop forward. If this were to droop a little bit forward and give it more volume. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't add a turning edge. I think that would have helped the 3D-ness of this. I mean, you could still have they have that in consideration. It's not super convincing. I don't know. That's something I could probably amend. Try to think about how to put this in perspective. Maybe have it a little bit come down a little bit faster, or have this wrap around. Or maybe it's just how they were thinking about the fabric. Maybe having something like this, it indicated that it's a little bit more rounded. Or, have some I don't know about a baby folds, but something to kind of wrap around. It's like have this part straight. Let's see, you have a cylinder, right? Having it straight, and then it kind of rotates like this, and it goes straight like this. Or pushing this out a little. Pushing this out a little and having it rotate, right? And then when it gets to this portion, it like straightening out. Because it now so maybe I could add a little bit of space or something. So that's something I could really consider. Is maybe having a little bit more up here. Even though there is that perspective. Having the in this perspective does make it a little bit more challenging to really think about how clothing works in this particular thing. Yumizuki play Genshin? I used to. I haven't played in a long time. No, I'm just analyzing this art because I'm going to copy it like I did with these same artists from AddValue KR. No, I was just analyzing it. Okay, so that's something I could kind of push or really think about how I want to push it. It's gonna be kind of difficult from this angle. So I do this will be challenging rather than straight up copying. I mean, yes, I should technically copy blah 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 whatever. But there's some interesting patterns. You see that they use hatching for that as well. Lots of hatching. This man is a hatching god. Okay. But everything else in terms of perspective looks fine. Let's see. Let's look at. I guess they're just kind of sketching this. Nothing too much. It's not like it's definitely not super clean. There's a few things like here, this line right here. There's this is incomplete. There's some overlap right here. So this is not as they're not their cleanest work. But hey, overall looks really good. So why even complain? Still, this is still pretty good though. This area, see this kind of darker. This one being darker than this area just because it's more in front. You have the spacing right here to show distance. Same thing right here. Same thing right here. So they're still using techniques. There's definitely hierarchy of um line late line weight. What's interesting though, this could just be because they're sketching, is how this outer part right here, you see how there's a little bit lighter. Same thing right here compared to these parts. And then also that this part is a lot darker than these. It could be one of two reasons that I could really think of. It's either they're trying to taper this off. So like let's say decrease, then lighten up, then increase, lighten up right here and increase right here and lighten up. That could just be for the purpose of not making it boring. So it's like it draws your attention to these portions a little bit more. It says like ignore this. It could be for balance purposes. And these two are darker than this spot, but this place is darker. So it could be that they're trying to lead you. You know how certain compositions they make you look at certain things. It kind of guides your eyes into how to approach at visually inspecting the artwork. Might be the same thing too. Because when you look at this, I mean, obviously you're gonna notice the face first. Then you're gonna recognize there's a lot of details right here. Face, a lot of details, and then it's simple right here. So this is where your attention is going to be grabbed at mostly. And then while descending, right? Descending as in like on top to bottom, it kind of helps with the flow too. So if you look at it like this, again, dark, dark, dark. So kind of helps it easier to follow as well. And it makes sense too. See if you see this one is light. See, this one's light. This part is a little bit darker. This one's a little bit darker. But definitely this should be the focus. Not only is it because it's in front, and not only do they really plan that out by having this area, these areas a little bit darker, but also I think it's due to by making it dark, dark, dark. So it makes it easy to follow. So I guess that's something I could be cognizant about when drawing this or following this. Is following this kind of pattern to make it a little bit more, I wouldn't say easy, but give a guide to how we should approach looking at this. Also gives it a little bit more flow, I guess. But yeah, like this stuff is just I like this one. It's probably just them sketching there, like, who cares? So it's just one of those things. And then you see like this hatching, they break this part apart compared to this part right here. And again, that's supposed to give the semblance of like the skirt, the perspective of the skirt or whatever. And them hatching it like this, it shows that there is a small break, but it's not a like 90-degree sharp angle. It's like a soft angle. So it could be, here's an example, kind of like this. This is a softer angle compared to this. And they're really showing it compared to like these right here. These are sharp. This is defiant, sharp. Kind of tapers off. Kind of dark here. Same thing. They're utilizing the same techniques for the bows. Or else do they utilize that? I think certain bow or certain small details they do that. So that's something to really think about is when hatching, using that as a technique to show curves. I guess by using like negative, I wouldn't say negative space. I don't know what you would call that. I wouldn't what necessarily say negative space. It's kind of like negative space. So that's being economical. What else could I tell? Hair looks about to be whatever. A lot of details. Again, this showing adding these to show distance or that this is behind this, hiding that space. Sprinkled all over. Hands he just did in a jiffy. But yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is definitely these two things to really set the tone. No, I wouldn't say the tone. To really set the perspective of the character. These hatching details. I mean, everything else is pretty standard. There's nothing like out of the blue. Oh, them adding this part for the lats instead of it being like sort of like this, adding a little bit extra to show this part. That's very imperative for anatomy. Hello, Smiles. Welcome, welcome. And again, I guess pushing certain volumes forward by darkening certain areas. Again, here, this is shadow. Maybe they could have. I don't know. This perspective is difficult as fudge, man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is damn. Why did I choose this, dude? This is kind of difficult perspective wise. Damn, this is gonna be really challenging. I don't have to just focus on. It's not about just worrying out about the me copying. Now I have to really think about the perspective with this. Um, Again, instead of using hatching, they just use. I guess you could say there's a form of hatching. It's not like traditional. Oh yeah, here are the lines. It's just more succession of kind of no folds. And it's technically considered like satin, right? Because of this right here, it's reflective. I guess same. I can't really see about the seam here, but definitely this one. That's a perspective of this kind of interesting. This 3 dimensions. Again, very hard. And then you have something really soft to show like, hey, this is a 3-dimensional. It's not 2D thing. Let's see right here too. But this makes it ethereal. Not ethereal. If I do it like this, it seems very blocked in, but it's not. So small things like this area, keep it open. But certain areas, close it. Again, darkening, saying this is in front. They're pretty similar. I don't know if there's anything super stand out. Stand out. There's space. There's space. You mean this is interesting? I don't know if this is anything. What the difference between this and this in terms of the line weight? This is definitely darker than this one. Is it just because it's a habit thing? Or is there something else? Honestly, maybe it could just be because how much is going on. Because if you look at these two, let's see, we split this, right? Let's say this side and this side. You see right here, you have a lot of not much happening. So it's like kind of like a negative, not a negative space per se, but there's some breathing room, right? Compared to this already has this in the frame. It's like right here, right? You have this in the frame, you have this in the frame, you have all this interesting stuff already happening. Here, it's kind of empty. So maybe the reason why the artist has this one darker has to do with balance, right? For this, they want you to pay attention to this cheek. Over here, there's already all these things. So why try to muddy this by making it darker where you have, these complex hair shapes kind of already taking over, right? So kind of making this kind of like the background compared to here, there's nothing happening. So you could definitely make this a key proponent or something for the audience to look at. So that's okay. Okay, that is something I could definitely notate that, and I could utilize that. So let's say I have a scene, or let's say I have a character drawing, and there's one side of the face, something like this. Not much is happening. I could definitely darken the face because that could do several things. Number one, saying this is in front of all this stuff right here, show some distance, right? But also kind of bring attention to this compared to all these other things. Not only is there a lot of things happening, but these are you're pushing these hairs, follicles, or volumes in front of the face. So instead of making it try to compete all with each other, maybe not making this as dark for balance purposes. Again, if this is all competing with each other, you need some stuff to go in the background, some to come forward. I think definitely for this, making it lighter, let's say if even those these are like behind it, I still think it makes sense to have this a little bit lighter than this. I mean, also it could just be due to light as well. If the light is hitting this way, it should, this is all in light, and this because of how the face is, right? Um, it's kind of dark over here. It doesn't read as much. So it could be for both reasons, right? It could be for both because the light is coming out here. But since I do not know where the light source is specifically, it's hard to say. I can't really say this is a reason because of the light source. I can only really know that if they have like a full grayscale or if they do this with like actually render this. I don't know, but it makes sense. Like even without the light source, this makes sense in terms of thinking about these details. If something has a lot of details, I don't have to make something that's not super detailed darken just because the other side is for quote unquote symmetry purposes. It takes away from the overall illustration or drawing. So yeah, okay. That is some powerful tools, or that's something very apparent I could start using when utilizing that. It's kind of similar to like how previous thing, how this one is a little bit darker than this one. Even though this one is more forward, this has to do just with balance. Like if this were to be lighter than this, all this would kind of disappear, uh, but it won't look good for the overall balance of the illustration. So I think this is something kind of similar. And again, they're the like this right here is a perfect example of simple and complex. How the artist is not trying to make everything complex all over here, where it's very overwhelming and takes a lot out. It kind of distracts from the overall illustration compared to how they did it, complex, simple. Yeah, complex, simple. Then there's some stuff here, complex, somewhat simple. And then this one's forward. Again, your eyes are bound to like this, making all this stuff simple, simple. This a little bit more complex. So it kind of has, again, gives our eyes a guide. Because if you look, yeah, there's a lot of detail here. This is here. This is here. This is here. Come over to this side. Maybe there's this thing, but it's big. It's not like super small detail. This right here. And then the bottom half is just like simple, right? So it's utilizing those fundamentals as well. And then again, just pushing those things with using line weights. Yeah, like yeah, again, like line weight wise, these are a little bit darker compared to these ones. I think just has to do with balance. Yeah, these are definitely darker than this. And again, I think it really has to do with the complexity, the hierarchy of complexity I was talking about. Since there's a lot happening here, if all these were to be very dark, I think it would just off balance everything. What else? The same. How they approach their eyes is the same. I have some distance right here, so that's something I need to make sure. I'll leave some distance to show there's some not reflection, but The eyes are concaved because with that little space in between, if you're looking down, right, this kind of be not very reflective. But anyways, regardless, I should put some. I should have like a sliver of space, sliver of space, and then with hatching, technically, actually no. There isn't too many drop shadows, unless they consider those strap shadows. I don't think so. There's maybe like one, I could definitely say for with certainty. This is, I guess you could say, a collision shadow. Not really drop shadow. Drop shadow would be like right, kind of like appear here. Yeah, I'm surprised. It seemed they'd use a drop shadow like right here, or yeah, I'd assume they'd use like a drop shadow right here. Same thing right here. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't use a drop shadow here. I mean, from their other stuff. Something like that to really show it. Maybe it has to do with the angle. But typically, I mean, yeah, they definitely use a lot more occlusion shadows and drop shadows. Generally speaking, on their other things that they have drawn, maybe it's, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I guess if you looked at more of their polished stuff, they really push those things. I guess, yeah, I think it's just because this is more of a sketch, or this is a little bit more rough comparatively to the other things that I've seen. It's maybe not as fully developed. I mean, no, I mean, because their previous stuff that I looked at, th- they utilize drop shadows as well, like decently, and it's not like the cleanest liner. It is. I mean, it's clean, but it's more of a rough. It's definitely, I could see it more as a rough than an actual. Mm, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't add more drop shadows. I mean, they definitely use occlusion shadows here and there, more sparingly, but I would assume they'd use some more drop shadows. But again, I think just because they're like, ah, whatever. Okay, but I think I have a good idea of this. Kind of know how to approach this. Uh, there's some stuff that is a little odd. Like this hand looks a little bit off. This angle and everything, I think this. Let's see. Let's think about it. They're holding a tray, right? And if it's a lower perspective, I think this is a little too low. I think this should be a little bit higher. I think this portion right here. It feels like here, a little bit higher, a little bit closer to the body. I think that would match compared to this. Or am I just high? I think with the perspective, yeah, it should. Hold on. I'm trying to like imagine the 3D-ness in my brain. Okay, okay. If they're holding it like this, and if they were rotated outward, yeah, from that angle, yeah, it should look higher because of the perspective. Hold on. Yeah, it should be a little bit higher perspective wise. Or they can, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think perspective wise, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still a really good drawing, regardless. But this part looks a little off right here, or to me. I literally can't unsee it. It feels like this. Right? I can't be. It can't just be me, right? Or am I being way too nitpicky? I might be. I might getting a little bit too deep in the weeds. I mean, again, it looks good regardless. This is what happens when you analyze so deeply. You're like, wait a minute, that looks a little off now that I think about it. It's one of those things that you can't unsee. I mean, that's more of an anatomy thing, whatever, or a perspective ish thing, which isn't really the goal of this. It's more to copy, understand, analyze more of their line weight than anything else, or line quality and weight. But yeah, I think I generally got what I needed from this, and I would know how to approach it. I guess the last thing is to watch. I think there's a video. He doesn't make artist does not make time lapses for all their stuff. They do for some. They have this one? Oh, they do. Oh, they do a straightforward first. I can do general sketch. Oh, I see what they did. Okay. So they did like a straightforward view, like they had them looking straightforward. And then once they got the general shapes in, right? They're like essentially drawing in the silhouettes with the big shapes. Then they rotated the head to fit the okay, gotcha. I would have never noticed how they draw it or the arm thing. This thing. This is I think this is just more of a natting perspective thing. The arm. Oh. Yeah, right? If you look at this, you're like, wait a minute. Anatomy wise, this makes no effing sense. Compared to this one. Oh yeah. This one's like right here. Right here. This is the original. This is me lifting it up a little. Okay. I'm just hella analyzing right now. To get to utilize this. Push the face in a little. Start adding details. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's how they did this one is kind of similar to how I did this one. I had a really general sketch. I just did this. I mean, this one is slightly different. This other one. Where's this one? Yeah. Is this one? I just did shapes. Then I did this and added a lot more detail. So I guess how they drew the full body is a lot more like this. This one, there was no video. There's no time lapse. So I just did a sketch. General. Again, I approached it with using general shapes, then add very general stuff to it. Then I added more detail later. Excuse me. That seems hella uncomfortable if it is connected though. Oh yeah. Yeah. But again, it looks natural though. That's the thing. If you make it look good, because people are looking at this, if they don't hyperfixate, if they're not like really analyzing it, it's something that they won't really care. Because again, It's one of those, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Yeah, this is what happens when you study art. Turn out when they're analyzing stuff like really specifically. But you know what? Again, overall drawing looks really good though. Mhm. Okay, okay. So this might be something I might fix, this portion. So now we're getting to the territory of, I'm not just my job. Yes, my job with this, right, studying this artist, is to copy them, to kind of get the feel. But it's more in that fact that I'm taking information, valuable information, and then when I'm drawing it, like emulate it, yes. Not be an exact carbon copy, but all the key things that they that they have is present when I copy. So again, like hatching this area, hatching details, having this, perspective right here. I want to say I'm going to add all these details. But what I was pointing out earlier, this is darker, darker, darker to help kind of guide the eyes where to go. So these things I am going to copy verbatim, but I might make some few changes here and there because number one, I can't draw like them exactly, and my job isn't to make everything exactly the same. Because there's some stuff I'm like, oh yeah, this could be different. I was talking about this right here. That's why I was drawing the cylinders, just trying to show this pushing forward is really difficult in this position. Is really challenging to do regardless. And then this arm thing changing into this. Developing a good art style based on what you like, I see. Not necessarily what I like. It's more of what makes this a good drawing. And like extracting that information. Because that is what you should do. Or in order to really develop as an artist, to improve. It's not just copy blindly. Oh, just draw this, draw this, draw this without really thinking of why. Why does this work? Why does this look good? What could improve this? Will I do those things? Like specifically? Not necessarily. But my goal is to extract more of their techniques instead of doing like a straight one for one master copy. Like let's see. Let me show you. So this is another one of their things. I mean, very different. Very different in terms of how they draw their lines, right? But there's certain things that I was like really trying to focus on is more of this kind of stuff right here. Like how this is darker and this is darker, this part is light. To saying I'm those few things I tried to emulate. I'm not gonna draw exactly the same style like how they draw eyes. It's not gonna be like verbatim. Understanding this portion. I definitely could have darkened this, whatever. How again, and I was telling you about earlier, even though this is closer to compared to this one, but this one's darker and it's for balance purposes. I try to emulate those certain things. those things that make it look good. It's not gonna be me copying everything exactly. That's kind of impossible. I'm not that skillful, but taking certain aspects and and kind of focusing on those. Like all these other stuff, yeah, they'll add to the things, but they're not the thing that gives it that wow factor. That's what I'm really focusing on. Those wow factors. And really focusing on that because all these other stuff, it will help me in the, but it's not blindly copying. It's being very analytical. I'm trying to understand why they do certain things and then utilizing that. Line control? I mean, yeah, definitely line control. Their line control, I am not at their level of line control. So obviously, there's gonna be definitely things that I cannot do at my current skill level. So it's not gonna be the best copy. But again, those small little things that makes it wow. Those are the big things I'm trying to really analyze, comprehend, and emulate. It's those things. Are you focused more on illustration or concept art? Neither. Neither. I just want to be a good craftsman, meaning that I could draw stuff with a good line quality, good line arts. And that's not really that that's not really in the realm of concept art or illustration. Concept art, you need to be like good at everything. Or you're yeah, with concept art, it's more of a jack of all trades, master of none. Concept art is very, very, very difficult. I will never be. I shouldn't say use the word never, but the chances of me being a concept artist is very low. I do not think I have the creative bandwidth to do such things. I'm a lot more analytical, as you could tell. I mean, it could help me in terms of I guess it could help with concept arts, but that's not my end goal. We'll get there eventually. I don't know, man. If I was no lifing art, literally light was my or art was my life, probably. Because the amount of time and effort needed to get there, I do not think I personally could unless it was like a full-time job. And also, concept art is extremely competitive. Again, you have to be a jack of all trades with concept art, which I cannot. Literally, I cannot. Again, if I was doing nothing but art, I probably could. It's not worth it to me. The time investment is definitely not worth it to me. Now I'm okay with that. Listen, I just want to draw my anime titties and call it a day. You don't need to be you don't need to be a concept artist to draw anime titties. But yeah, that's another reason. My plan isn't to be an illustrator. That's why you don't really see me do anything with rendering, with coloring. You don't really see that from me. You see me doing a lot of practice. Or me doing stuff like this, rotation. Where I get a pose and I rotate it in different perspectives. Like completely different perspectives. And this is all to help with draftsmanship. And I'm doing this. Or then those are my notes. Yeah, this is me doing a lot of analysis I'll get a reference, I would analyze it, then I'll draw them in a similar pose, not exactly the same. I might change some things here and there, and that won't be the exact thing. I'll change up the clothing, I might change up hair. General pose I would keep, but I might exaggerate certain things or change it for what makes it look good in this scenario. It's kind of like what I did previously. But there's a lot more like targeted just to utilizing reference and analyzing reference. You draw an analog too. Yes, I draw pen and paper. I draw on pen and paper. Yes, yes. I mean, I draw pen and paper often. I wouldn't say all the time. Definitely digital is my main. The main medium that I utilize. But let's say in a week, hourly, I might spend. Okay, let's say I draw 15 hours a week. I'm just throwing like a random number out there, right? 15 hours I draw in a week. Maybe out of the 15, 3 of those hours would be analog. Pen and paper. Or pencil and paper. Just depends on what like specific thing that I'm doing. Each thing would be for like different purposes. So let's say I'm using a pen. I do a lot more things to help me with pen control. Like very, very, very mind-numbing stuff. Drawing a whole bunch of lines, drawing circles, hatching stuff. But the purpose of that is so I get really, really good pen control. Or I might do some copies of something, and then again, when I'm using pen, I steer away from ballpoint pen because my goal isn't trying to make it sketchy. I want it to be clean cut, draw one line. So I might do some copies with, so I use specifically like a brush pen or a fountain pen. And then sometimes I might do character drawings, or I might do the same thing. Like I might get an object, I see it as I see the reference, then I'll rotate it, or I'll put it in a different angle, right? Rotate it different angle. I'll do that on pencil, or again like character drawing. I just draw a character, or I'll get a reference. So I have like a pose right here, and then I have a character I want to draw. Then I draw the character in this specific pose. I might do that in pencil. Just because there's a lot more trial and error, so I might erase some things here and there. But how I approach it in terms of how I do analog and how I do digital is similar in the sense that I would think of general shapes and silhouettes first, and then I start building in the small little details here and there. Again, a good example is this right here. So I might do this really lightly in pencil first, and then I might push a little bit harder, or I might use um a harder lead pencil and then start doing small details here and there. And then I'll erase this part. Again, similar process here. Instead, it's a little bit more streamlined. So instead of me erasing everything, I mean, I still do erase. I could do Control Z, or if I have the sketch, I could lower the opacity of that and have this more refined version. It's like the same thing, or people can do. They make a really something really sketchy, and they might reduce the quote unquote opacity if they have like a rubber if they have one of those amendable erasers. They could just, dap it once or twice to quote unquote lower the opacity, right? And then they can go back on it with a pencil to clean up certain things, or just if they're really confident, just use pen and go over it. And then afterwards, just once every ink dries, erase it. One or the other. Just depends. But anyways, I am done for today. I'm pretty tired. I streamed for 2 hours. What do you look at that? I mean, I did a lot more yapping than I would like have. But you know what? That's okay. I was able to do what I want, which is good enough for me. Alrighty. I need to go to sleep. I do got work tomorrow. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I will probably stream tomorrow as well. Probably tomorrow. I might start the process of copying. So I might do my gesture drawings and I might do the copy, and that'll be it. Alrighty. Anyways, until next time. Peace. Bye.